Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in and I hope you return. Let's get down to work. Today we're going to mess around with the Mark III a little bit here. I want to get the headliner board prepared for recoating. I haven't picked a fabric yet. I don't know if I want to get fancy with it or if I just want to make it black so it matches the interior. But what I think we'll do in today's video is we will finish cleaning off the headboard. I already started it, but we're going to finish it and I'm going to tell you why it's important to do what I'm doing. And then we're going to take the rear deck out of here, which is going to involve taking apart the speakers and all that fun jazz. So let's go ahead and do that. Right. So let's see what we got here. So this is your standard headliner board. The one difference you'll notice here is that most of it is bare. I've gotten pretty much all the foam off, but see this here, this is the foam that's underneath the fabric that is on here from factory. So what you have to do is take a wire brush or a wire wheel on a drill, but you have to be careful because you'll do what I did and you'll blow through it in a couple spots, and you got to knock all the foam off or your fabric won't actually stick. So we're going to go and finish the little bits that I haven't done. So now that we have the prep work pretty much finished, try our best to get this rear deck out without damaging it. Alright, let's get these speakers out of here. Okay. There you go. All things considered, should be pretty easy work. All we'll have to do is go, boop. Oh, cool. They're just broken. All right, you know what I've decided? I'm not putting the tweeters back in because I don't care. And they're all crispy because this is a North Carolina car. So that's garbage. All right, goes in the trash with this fabric. This, much easier than the, what's it called? Someone's been in here. Much easier than the headliner. There's no foam on this, on the top. So there we go. Let's pop this rad support, core support, whatever support bar off because the rest of it's in the shed, garage, whatever. Let's pull this off and we're going to go make a list of what this car needs. Alright, before we make a list, we got to clean. This looks terrible. Look at this. And I'm not going to take the other fender off. I should, but I'm not yet. But we got to clean all this sand and crap off here. It's bugging me. So first we'll have a nice refreshing beverage. And then we will get to cleaning this. And I'm sure this will grow the further I get into things, but this is what we have for now. So we'll talk about the short part first, which will be suspension and brakes. So this car's already on a set of, I think they're FK coilovers. I'm not, but these need to get fixed. That's not the appropriate amount of gap. And this one over here actually spins, the top hat spins, which it should not. So we're going to get some male HD strut mounts for it, get that fixed up. And then we're going to move on to the braking system. So as you can see on the list here, we're going to get stainless steel braided hoses for all corners, including the midlines. But I have to call Autotech and have them send me special rear lines because we're going to switch, as you can see here, the rear calipers to a Mark IV setup because they're aluminum and lighter. And because they're new, I don't have to really prep them. I can just paint them. And we're going to paint them all red. Same thing with the fronts. If we don't get new front calipers, we're going to clean them up really good and paint them red. I like red calipers, so this car is getting red calipers. Other than that, new rotors front and rear, new pads front and rear, and the rear is also going to get wheel bearings because the rotor is the hub. Mark III life. Now, let's talk about the engine. First things first, it's coming out. It needs timing chains. They rattle, so those obviously need done. While we're in there, we're going to do a clutch. And for ease of getting things done, I'm just going to pull the whole drivetrain because the exhaust has to come apart to replace that. Oh yeah, we need to get an exhaust. Or we're going to get a 3-inch. That's foreshadowing. While we are in here, we have to replace the radiator. It's missing, as you may notice. It was leaking, so that had to go in the trash. Timing chains, clutch, like we talked about. We're also going to go ahead and delete the secondary air injection here. Get rid of that relay, pull the wiring out. You know, same thing we were working on in the harness video. While we're at it, we're also going to change the crack pipe out for a billet one. We're going to change coolant housings out for aluminum ones, and we're going to change this ugly coolant bubble for a 2-liter one since they don't make the VR6 one anymore. Just a bit smaller, not really going to affect anything. Truthfully, I don't care as long as it looks nice and I can see my pink coolant in it. I'm a happy guy. So, that aside, serpentine belt, obviously, because we're right here, it's covered in oil, it's got to go. Valve cover gasket, which is why it's covered in oil, because I think that's original. Fuel filter, do an oil change. So the last two items that we got to discuss are the clutch master and slave assembly and the mounts. With the clutch hydraulics, I don't know if it needs a slave, I don't know if it needs a master. It has good clutch pressure, it engages, it disengages, but the pedal has a weird spot in it, it feels kind of sticky. So it could be either or. It could be an old line collapsing. So what I think we'll do is after we get the motor back together with the new clutch and pressure plate and all that fun jazz, we'll put a braided steel line in the hydraulics for the clutch, see if that helps. If it doesn't, we'll go to the next cheapest item, and if that doesn't do it, we'll replace whatever's left. So line, slave, master, in that order more than likely. That should take care of that. And then otherwise we just have to do the motor mounts and the trans mount. And we're actually going to do the motor mounts before we pull the motor out, simply because I'd like to show you guys my budget option for that. The trans mount's also a budget option, so we'll slap that in there while we're at it. We're going to use a G60 mount, otherwise known as a Corrado G60 transmission mount. They're solid rubber instead of having hydraulic fluid, so they're a bit stiffer and they're very durable. And then for the front and the rear engine mount, we're going to make our own inserts as opposed to buying something from BFI or VF or whatever that are tremendously more expensive. So instead of spending like $200, we're going to have about $20 in those mounts. And we should be all in for about $40-45 for everything. And we're going to do a video on that and cover how you can make your own budget motor mounts for a Mark III. Anyhow, that's all we got for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, if your projects don't have bonus parts, it might not be a real project, so get out in the garage, find a way to simplify your car, and maybe you'll find some bonus parts you can take off and put in the bin for later. Catch you in the next one.